Friday Night Lights. It's some of the most intense football action you will see. But that intensity has brought negative attention to the sport. 2 weeks ago, two John Jay football players attacked a ref after they accused him of using racial slurs. And then this past weekend, a player for St. Anthony's in San Antonio pushed an official after he was given an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
It shouldn't be labeled as Texas football. It's not what we are, who we are.
This is my 42nd year, and I've never seen anything like that. And so, yeah, I think these are isolated incidents. Does it mean that it could occur again? Sure, it could.
In East Texas, the coaches and officials both make sure student athletes know what is expected of them.
Guys, y'all can knock heads all night long, okay? What counts is what happens after the play.
They'll tell a kid when he's getting out of control, and they'll warn him first, and then they'll come to the coach second. You know, and so there are ways to prevent this from happening.
We're not going to allow personal foul penalties. Our kids know not to say anything to officials. They're not supposed to say anything to the other team. Sometimes that doesn't go that way, and that's not what we want.
Both Reyes and Quick agreed the video that they saw with the two incidents is unacceptable for their players. They say they have disciplinary actions in place if something like that does happen, and they said right now what they really try to do is make sure they lead by example.
Know the limits and know where you got to stop and know what you have to do, and you want to try to set a good example to the kids.
Coach them, teach them, tell them what they should have done.
Making sure cooler heads prevail. Caleb Beams, KTRE, East Texas News 9. In the heat of the day, these girls from all over East Texas are preparing to put their personal rivalries aside and play for a bigger cause. Say hello to the Nitro 18 and under select team based in Nacogdoches. In a matter of days, they will become Team USA for a goodwill tour in Italy, playing the best girls their age, including a possible matchup with the Italian Junior Olympic team.
I'm sure it's going to be different, and maybe we can pick up something that we have never seen before.
The team was picked for the tour based on their on and off the field behavior in recent championship performances.
I thought that was a great honor. You don't realize that people are watching you and watching what you're doing.
Now, with any European sport, the style of play is different, but these girls say they are ready.
I've seen them on TV. They played like a lot of small ball and stuff, versus like here we have like maybe a couple people who bunt and stuff, but most of the lineup is like power hitters.
With girls from all over East Texas, the big question is, will they be able to put aside rivalries for the greater good?
We have a really good bond on this team, and we really get along. And the rivalries can get the best of us sometimes, but we're usually pretty good about it.
They say the only thing important now is the red, white, and blue.
I think it's a great honor. I think that there's not many people around here that are getting the opportunity to do this, and I think that we should be grateful that we're allowed to travel and see the world.
I mean, how many girls can say that they went to Europe and had jerseys that say USA on them?
In Nacogdoches, Caleb Beams, East Texas News. John Carlos, you know, he was welcomed with wide open arms. Now, before he was known as J-Train and running over defensive linemen in the National Football League, Jaworski Lane was in the weight room at Lufkin High School, becoming one of the best the Panther Nation has ever seen. And today, over 200 future All-Stars hit the turf at John Outlaw Memorial Field to learn from their hero.
Let's go! I have to be the one to step up and make sure they know my story, you know, and what I had to do and who helped me.
Right? Basic fundamental teamwork. You start off as a team.
Jaworski Lane has earned the reputation as the best player to ever come out of Lufkin. So when he comes home, it's no wonder that he's an idol to these future Panthers. You want to be like him one day?
Yes. The answer to that is a million times yes.
Oh yeah, show me some.
The Tampa Bay fullback, along with friends from the East Texas Timber Rattlers and the NFL, spent their day working with future Friday Night heroes.
Because Jaworski, he really wants to get back to the kids, making it to the NFL, which is the highest level of this game.
There you go. There you go.
I couldn't even put a price on it. The best thing I could say is priceless, because it's an intrinsic reward of just giving back, being able to touch somebody and making them become a better person.
For Lane, the son of two teenage parents growing up on the impoverished north side of Lufkin, it was a chance to come back to the place where he was first told he would be something more.
Question. I was a hard head. I wasn't listening at first, but like I said, Coach Outlaw pulled me to the side in the 7th grade. And hey, man, you have a great talent. You can use this to, you know, use this to be on TV. As a kid, somebody telling that you can be on TV one day, you know, you look at stuff like that.
And that football is just the beginning to a life with so many opportunities.
It's understanding that, you know, it's more. You know, it's more, you know, it's a football camp, but this is just a start.
Now, if you're watching this at home and a little bummed out that you missed the camp, Jaworski said, don't worry, he's coming back to the Piney Woods next year. Reporting in the studio, Caleb Beams, KTRE, East Texas News 9. Crystal fans on both sides say they are super hyped for tomorrow night's rematch and that this year is more exciting after the Dragons took down the Pack last year for the first time since 1992. It's the calm before the storm, as Dragon Stadium right now sits empty. But fans can't wait for one of the oldest football rivalries in Texas to kick off. Fans on both sides of the Angelina River are ready. In Lufkin, fans have purple fever.
I would always say that Lufkin is always into it. It doesn't matter whether Lufkin wins or loses, the Lufkin fans are going to stand behind the Panthers.
And in Nacogdoches, former players are rooting on those following in their footsteps.
Everybody's standing and cheering, and your mom and dad and your sister and your girlfriend, your aunt and uncles all up chanting for you. It just really intensifies the game.
Fans hoping to grab a ticket, well, they'll have to only dream. Tickets officially sold out this morning, a fact that Lufkin fans are not too worried about.
What people also need to understand about Lufkin, every Friday night our home side is always sold out.
Now, while the Lufkin side of Dragon Stadium was sold out this morning, the home side was sold out last week on Wednesday. Why, you may ask? Well, Nacogdoches fans are hoping for a repeat from last year's performance where they beat Lufkin for the first time since 1992 on this exact same field. What's your prediction going into this?
Well, I just told you we're going to light the end at 10:30, so Nac beats them again.
I still think we're going to be victorious, but I think Lufkin's going to come over here and play a better game.
But Lufkin fans say not so fast.
Now, I'm not going to predict a score, but I think the Panthers are going to do well tomorrow night.
If the game lives up to the hype, it will definitely be one that nobody will want to miss. Livingston's annual basketball tournament has an international flair to it this year. Meet the Wolves, a group of high school students all the way from Perth, Australia. They're a club team with ages ranging from 14 to 18, using their summer break to tour America.
It's just all really overwhelming and really amazing experience.
Players say they've seen a lot of stuff on the court, but the most interesting things have happened off the court.
Food, so much. And we saw a squirrel on the side of the road, and we don't have those.
The driving, different sides of the road, we drive the opposite side, so it's been really different, and we always think we're going to crash, but we're not, and yeah, it's getting a bit scary.
They also say the game is a lot faster than what they're used to back home, and the coaching staff also finds it different as well.
The refereeing is a lot more, I'd say, lenient compared to where we come from, where it's very tiggy touchwood. It's I like it here though. I like the physicality. I think they let the game flow a bit more, and there's a lot more hardness in the game.
The Australian players here say it's more than just about getting the W. It's also about advancing the sport in the land down under.
The skill level, it shows us how much we need to develop as players as well, and as a country, I guess, too.
I thought I played with a lot of intensity, but then I've come here and watched the girls play, and they're just they're crazy. They really want that win.
An intensity they hope will travel back home with them. In Livingston, Caleb Beams, KTRE, East Texas News 9.
1st and 10, Thomas again. What a move that was.
Rodney Thomas made a name for himself on the field, but friends and family say his biggest impact was made off the field.
Well done, my good and faithful servant, because that's what he said to our brother Whiting.
Which is why it's easy to understand why over 1,000 people would pack the Groveton Gym to remember a man that they say was taken too soon. Former Texas A&M coach R.C. Slocum said all week he's received messages from those affected by the running back, including former Aggies and Green Bay Packers head coach Mike Sherman.
Although Ronnie Thomas will always be recognized as one of the best players to ever step on Kyle Field, I believe he would do his legacy at this service if you think of him solely as a great player. His legacy as a son, a brother, a husband, a father, and a friend will last much longer than any of his exploits on the field or the trophies he captured on the football field.
Story after story was read, but the most touching was from his brother, Darrell Williams, who recalled when Rodney put his own money into a vending machine that gave other players free drinks.
See, I would have known not to go and take stuff out of that machine, but Rodney had something else that was inside of him that would make him think that why don't I go and refill that, because they're going to mess up someone else's business. That was Rodney Thomas.
And then, a final request from a loving brother.
You share those stories, you make that legend, it is a legend. You know, it's just his body is here, his soul is going on to be with the Lord. Brother Rodney Thomas touched so many lives that he's going to live on here on earth.
Caleb Beams, KTRE, East Texas News 9. It's spring practice time, and with kickoff 5 months away, the SFA Jacks are starting to form a team bond. But for the Allen brothers, that bond is already there.
Like all our life, we started out with Pee Wee football, then went to middle school, then high school. Now we're here.
Jamal and Jabraylin are not just brothers, they're identical twins. And when I say identical, I mean identical. Both 6'1" and both 200 pounds. The only thing different, their positions. Jabraylin a linebacker, Jamal a defensive back. And it's something that's been challenging for many to deal with on the gridiron.
Pretty much same here. Everybody trying to figure us out, but being around everybody, they just picked up on it quick. So
It's been challenging sometimes because they get us mixed up and then put us in different positions.
They have been together every day of their lives, and college will be no different since they are roommates.
See them every day.
Is it hard sometimes?
Oh, definitely. He get ugly, so. No, it's I have to say it's better than to have a stranger.
When coming out of high school, these two knew they would go together.
It's a good feeling. I can imagine him not being here with me.
It's overwhelming. I mean, not everyone have a twin brother or somebody they can just be with all the time, every day. So, I mean, for him to be beside me it's a blessing.
And these former Lions from Frankston have only one goal when taking the field on Saturdays: respect.
Prove everybody wrong, really. I know we can do it, and we're just out here to prove that.
Reporting from SFA, Caleb Beams, KTRE, East Texas Sports 9.